the remaining people on the highway that are trying to evacuate and get out of the area from flowing down into Mattie Road and into the streets. Take a look at this branch here. This was burned by the fire and now soaked by the most recent storms, with surprise fees for making the hand sanitizer. Fees that could wipe some of these businesses out. We heard the gunshots to the left of me, closer to the train tracks and the Salinas riverbed. Deputies had excavated a small portion of this hill. Now, if you walk over this way with me, you can see that there's another section of the house that deputies and investigators were searching. On this 2-acre plot of land, imagine nearly 70 affordable housing units. So I don't think it was any surprise that Joe Biden took California, but what's interesting is that some of these counties did flip over to a Democratic nominee. They are doing great work. I mean, look at how many toys it takes so many people to move these items in. Keeping a safe distance, and don't turn your back to the ocean because these waves are only expected to get bigger on Tuesday.
Praise, wave your hand, awesome job.
For the Martinez kids, it's back to school in the back seat.
It's hard because I get distraction and that stuff.
Learning multiplication while sitting in a car.
Not that much space and uncomfortable.
In the middle of a heat wave with the air conditioner cranked. Their at-home Wi-Fi isn't enough to support all 5 kids. So Mother Andrea takes 4 of them to parking lots with stronger connectivity.
They need to learn more and more, so this is why I come here.
The first week of school has taken place here and here. Pandemic-induced distance learning is one of the many struggles families are facing.
I can't work like that.
It's difficult because the kids don't want to stay in the car for a long time.
And it's time she could use to finish other responsibilities.
I need to clean the house, make the food.
Instead, she spends it making sure her kids aren't marked absent from class.
Hunter, what's your question?
Educators with the Lucia Mar Unified School District say they're working to distribute 350 Wi-Fi hotspots to families in need, with 250 more on the way.
As people are starting school and seeing what school really looks like, we've been receiving additional requests for more. Because Lucia Mar is a geographically large region.
The Martinez family says they already got their Wi-Fi hotspot, but it's not enough.
We do have some families out there who continue to struggle with this distance learning model, and it is very important to us that we find out who is struggling, what the challenges are, so we can help troubleshoot those challenges.
Parents, students, and teachers all navigating a new way of learning.
That's right, Nina. Kristen Smart was last seen walking with Paul Flores to the red brick dorms that you see behind me. Now, fast forward nearly 25 years later, and the San Luis Obispo County Sheriff's Office holds a press conference right here on campus to announce that Paul Flores has been arrested on suspicion of murdering Kristen. Now, a lot of people are asking why now, and Sheriff Parkinson says that evidence recovered from recent search warrants has garnered enough probable cause to arrest not only Paul, but also his father, Ruben Flores.
In a revelation many have been waiting for, the San Luis Obispo County Sheriff's Office announced arrests in connection to the 1996 disappearance of Cal Poly freshman Kristen Smart.
24 years without a resolution until today.
44-year-old Paul Flores was arrested on suspicion of Smart's murder. Paul's father, 80-year-old Ruben Flores, booked alongside his son for accessory to murder. Sheriff Ian Parkinson saying Ruben helped cover up the death.
Forensic physical evidence was located, and yes, we believe it's linked to Kristen, and yes, we did find physical evidence at least 2 homes.
Because warrants are sealed, Sheriff Parkinson couldn't say what has been found during past searches, but did say evidence found during the 2016 excavation of this Cal Poly hillside solidified Paul's involvement.
We discovered additional evidence to confirm that Paul was the suspect.
With more than 200 pieces of evidence, DNA testing, and witness statements, the Sheriff's Office has turned the case over to the District Attorney's Office for review, even if Kristen's remains are still missing.
I'm confident that we have enough of a case to prove beyond a reasonable doubt.
Cal Poly President Jeffrey Armstrong applauding the efforts of detectives.
The news today of arrest in connection with the case brings sadness, but also a measure of relief.
Sheriff Parkinson admitted investigators made mistakes, but highlighted their efforts to bring justice to the community, saying investigators are closer than ever to finding Kristen.
Until we return Kristen to them, this is not over, and we have committed to them that we are not going to stop until Kristen has been recovered, no matter what the cost.
Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment of religion or prohibiting the free exercise thereof.
The First Amendment of the United States Constitution protects free speech.
Or abridging the freedom of speech or of the press.
The rest goes like this.
Or the right of the people peaceably to assemble and to petition the government for a redress of grievances.
Some San Luis Obispo residents say their First Amendment rights were violated when Mayor Heidi Harmon blocked them from her social media accounts.
We're talking about just simply disagreeing with her, or in my case, personally, correcting her on something she got wrong, and literally being cut off and blocked because of that. Turns out, it's illegal.
Adam Montiel says Mayor Harmon blocked him from her Instagram account @HeidiIsMighty after he corrected her on a CDC COVID-19 guideline posted March 30th. Harmon has since deleted that post, but Montiel says he was blocked for nearly 9 months.
These accounts were set up privately by herself, but then when she started doing city business with them, that line gets blurred.
Federal judges have made the law clear in similar cases involving former President Donald Trump, U.S. Representative Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, and the mayor of Irvine, ruling the First Amendment prohibits an official who uses a social media account for government purposes from excluding people from an otherwise open online dialogue because they say things that the official finds objectionable. Before taking a break from social media, Mayor Harmon posted on both her Facebook and Instagram accounts about government policies, things like the city's COVID-19 response, immigration, climate change, and equality. Well, because she posted this content on her platform, constitutional lawyers say that platform then becomes a public forum, a forum that must allow public comment.
Public official has an obligation to listen to people who disagree with them. It's just that simple.
But there are legitimate reasons an office holder could block or restrict someone.
Those individuals who were logging in were threatening, harassing, posting lewd or lascivious types of comments.
In response to a public records request, the city says 58 accounts were completely blocked from Mayor Harmon's Facebook page. At least 25 accounts were blocked from her Instagram, and only people she followed on that platform were allowed to comment on her posts. One Arroyo Grande woman says she's been blocked since 2016 for giving a suggestion.
If you don't agree with her, you're gone. And you know, I understand that she had desires to, as the time went on, to block trolls. I mean, that's tempting to want to block them. I get it. But unfortunately, you just can't do it.
Full access to Harmon's accounts was restored to users December 21st, according to the city attorney. But Montiel questions why screenshots of her blocked list submitted in that public records request on the left appear zoomed in and cropped, compared to a normal screen grab example shown on the right.
It was an incomplete list. Like, I know people who were blocked that weren't on that list.
Mayor Harmon's latest post says she's taking a break from social media. Her Facebook and Instagram accounts now gone. Montiel says he doesn't plan on suing Mayor Harmon or the city. Attorneys say, though, there could be civil, even criminal penalties if evidence was destroyed or incompletely sent under the Public Records Act. In San Luis Obispo, I'm Megan Healy, KSBY News.
With breaking news.
Governor Gavin Newsom is expected to lift stay-at-home orders across the state tomorrow. Good evening, and thanks for joining us for the news at 11. I'm Megan Healy. Governor Gavin Newsom is expected to announce tomorrow that the stay-at-home order will be lifted across the state. According to a letter from the California Restaurant Association, the Biden administration is pledging to get millions of COVID-19 vaccines administered after they were delayed by a massive winter storm that swept across the country. By now, almost all of us know what social distancing means, but actually doing it is a different story, especially in states that are back open for business. California Governor Gavin Newsom is promising to reserve 10% of COVID-19 vaccines for teachers starting on Monday. But Solano County near San Francisco decided not to wait. That number of deceased people, now 4, is confirmed by Gilroy police, and even more have been injured. That number closer to 15. Well, just into our newsroom, San Luis Obispo County Sheriff's deputies have identified the suspect they believed was involved in a home invasion robbery in rural San Luis Obispo yesterday. Vaccinated and microchipped. Okay, Melissa. That is a deal. I think you got the rest of the show. I'm gonna
Go buy a pet.
I'm gonna get a new pup. So what is this second system going to do, and when is it going to be here? Well, if we take a look at this weather model here, you can see that this cloud coverage is going to increase for much of the area, with the first chance of rainfall by 7 p.m. in this more northern area of San Luis Obispo County. You can see that there is a pretty significant storm in the Pacific Northwest, bringing a lot of rain and snowfall, but we didn't see any of it here. We so desperately need it. We could see up to an inch of rain, potentially more at this rate in some areas like Paso Robles. And then this one from Paul Sill, you can see that this right here, these two stars lumped together, this is called the Great Conjunction, also known as the Christmas star. To the Santa Ynez Valley here, look at Solvang, 77 degrees, 75 in Los Alamos, 72 in Goleta, and 70 in Carpinteria. So the extended forecast, we have high pressure building in the area, so you can see that Thursday and Friday are really going to be warming up. We could see some record-breaking temperatures here in January, 83 degrees. Richard, can you believe it?